2:23 through 29, after he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions, so Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched, and he wrestled with the man. Wrenched. His hip was wrenched. You look that word up, it says to pull or twist someone or something suddenly and violently. So it wasn't just like he reached out and touched him, he wrenched it. You know, you couldn't, it made it so hard that he couldn't walk straight after that. So the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. And the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel. Your name will no longer be heel grabber or deceiver, but Israel, triumphant with God." Yes. And so he says, your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. So we see Jacob wrestles with God. Not only did he wrestle with him, but he was determined to get his blessing. If Jacob was 76 years old when he was driven into exile, he was somewhere around 97 at this point, and he was still willing to fight for the blessings God had for him. Right. Some of us think we're too old to go after what God wants for us, but this 97-year-old man with a broken hip is hanging on to an angel of the Lord saying, "Bless me. Give me the blessing that I need." But notice that Jacob, he had to go alone. He had to let everything that he had worked for and everything that he had amassed over the years go out in front of him and get completely alone. He had to get away from his TV. He had to get away from his wife and his children. He had to get away from his dog. He had to get away from his cats. He had to get away from everything and get completely alone to wrestle with God. And something that we can learn from him and see in his life is that we have to be willing and able to hold on even when we're in pain. Even when our circumstances leave us with scars and leave us with a limp, we must make up our minds like Jacob did that we are not going to let go of God until he blesses us. We're not going to give up. We're not going to look at this fight that's in front of us